final project for the course Gender and Work, I wanted to explore the realm of domestic work. For my interview, I had the opportunity to interview a female domestic worker who works in southern Mumbai and who is the sole breadwinner for her family. She has 3 children, 2 of which are unwell and need constant medical care. It was interesting to take her case study, as I was also able to interview her employer, who provided very valuable insight into the working conditions of female domestic workers in India. While both express and experience femininity, the way they do so is extremely different, and the way they navigate and mitigate the burdens of femininity is highly dependent on class. I was also able to incorporate the sociological theory of time poverty, which refers to, as the name suggests, lack of time in anyone's life. And while both the employer and employee face time poverty, it is class that helps navigate time poverty and mitigate it as much as possible. And hence, time poverty is mostly faced by the female domestic worker, who has to balance both her job as well as her family life and her familial burdens. Another theory that I explored through this report was the fact that any work that is predominantly done by women or traditionally carried forth by women is considered demeaning, and hence domestic work itself gets a poor name in Indian society. And this affects the wages, this affects worker conditions, etc. Another reason I wanted to explore domestic work is while myself growing up in a neighborhood that has families that are heavily dependent on domestic workers themselves, yet the appreciation or the importance that domestic workers are given is extremely less. And this is seen with the kind of wages they're given, the kind of treatment that's meted out to them in working conditions or in workplaces. Another thing I learned through this project was the fact that it is often the researcher who puts words into the mouths of the person they are studying. And so while starting off this report, I felt like I had to showcase how exploitative the nature of domestic work is in India, and how we could challenge that and mitigate that. But I realized that my subject, the female domestic worker that I was interviewing, was alright with the work that she was doing and was alright with the conditions of her work, because this is what she has been used to for her entire life and her entire career. And so it was important for me to not put words into her mouth and to allow her to express how she felt about her work itself. So these are multiple things that I learned throughout my report.